with Kickstar and Terabang Coastline for Penta Sports against Evil Geniuses.
Map number 5 between two extraordinary teams. And as I said before, could point the second most preferred site has seen its influence wane. In fact, we've even seen Kitchen downstairs emerge a number of times too.
EG spawning primarily, in fact entirely on the front door spawn. They're going to be setting up, likely to take into B. VIP going to be the main objective here for Evil Geniuses. A great beachhead to start things off. There isn't a thermite though on EG's side. They only have the Habana, which means any holes they can open up in that wall will be very small indeed. There's also a bandit, which means we will need to see one of the attackers either rappel on the B window to shoot those batteries or grenade them from below.
So much of EG's success over the last 2 days relied upon two people on the team, both Young and NVK. Neither of whom have had the strongest day today. BC and Necrox woke up yesterday and have played very commendably. For NVK, you will need to regain that confidence. Very important part when you are doing the entry that he is doing, because the team's fortunes will likely rise alongside his individual contributions. See, BC from below will start things off with a bang. He takes out Pengu very early on. That was the Mira who was playing and just doesn't bother to see it. Will also managed to get the Mira window finally, while Canadian from above does some damage himself.
Strate going to be a doc, so he's going to be able to heal himself back up. We see Eunice inside of the bathroom, but obviously, since he's been droned out, he will not go down. Strate playing aggressively over by these main lobby stairs. He's looking for a drop. Could catch one of the attackers off guard. Eunice will get Young, though. And it's been a response from Penta. They're not letting it slip too far in the favor of Evil Geniuses.
When attacking this site, one of the most important parts for Evil Geniuses is to put Young on the big window inside of bedroom. The Dakashate down, up, then back down. NVK gets a kill for his team. And that is a good start, at least certainly much better than the previous two maps.
You can see that Penta is very far off the site, not relying too heavily on an anchor. Instead, going for that retake strategy, which has worked for them a little bit in the past. Eunice going to be rotating back in. Canadian will take him down. Goga from the main hallway loses that fight. BC absolutely on fire. And the last defender is Fabian in the main lobby. He's looking to deny the attackers pushing in from main hallway into projector, but it's too little too late as Necrox is planting the diffuser inside of the other bomb site. 30 seconds now. Fabian going to be having to retake up these stairs. A very difficult push, and he will be caught out in the middle of it. BC wins the round for his team of 3K.
This is the start that Evil Geniuses need after they've lost steam over maps 3 and 4. Some confidence, a bit of momentum, and most importantly, you, crowd, to cheer as loud as you can for the hometown team. Penthouse Theater is going to be where Evil Geniuses go themselves. Amazing that they were still able to win that. Now, last season, Evil Geniuses played Coastline, most notably against a team then known as Most Wanted. It was the only round that, or the only map rather, that Evil Geniuses lost all season long. It came on Coastline. The most crucial parts of their push was to establish control over the hatch inside a bathroom, cut off the A site by bucking from below, which is where BC was, which is where he was able to get so many kills with that frag grenade, while having Young on the big window inside of master bedroom. One of those points was eliminated very early by Penta, but EG was able to still make it happen. That is what they need more of, because you can't just lose one part of your strategy and then crumple, or else your opponents will be able to take advantage of it.
There are 3 primary ways to disable projector room or meter room or whatever you want to call it on this hold as an attacking team. You can take control over the main lobby, move up those stairs and thermite the wall in the back of projector, or you can throw some yings and smokes into projector from the B window. You can also do what Evil Geniuses did, where they came down in the main lobby and bucked open the floor underneath the anchors with 2 great effects.
You see, they'll take that main window off. Now they'll attack the hatch. With Goga sitting on a thermite, the assumption will be that they will decide to attack from VIP or circle couch and towards the wall that leads into master. That is what we see to be about as common as you can get on a strategy. And in fact, I would say favors teams that don't have as high level coordination. So you see it primarily in ranked or in casual play for the attackers.
So Penta has brought a thermite You know, that means they're going to easily push in through VIP and open up that wall into B, which should give them a great line of sight and potential to plant the diffuser. Unit's going to likely stay on this flank hold for the majority of the round until they actually start pushing the site itself.
Stay back.
But they're taking it pretty slow as BenQ clears out ADSs and potentially opens up mirror windows, and he's not going to be successful here.
Just sitting inside a bathroom. Smoke goes out as well as a frag that lands just near the feet of BC. He takes some damage, but will stay alive. Necrox, though, on the roam, not to be spotted as a Twitch drone tries to hunt him down. BC will suffer some more damage. They are applying a ton of pressure to him. It's Fabian who's going to rotate now to try and find the Vigil who was last seen downstairs.
BenQ takes out BC. What a shot there. Tiny angle for him to finagle and put his team now in a one-man advantage. Evil Geniuses looking like they're having a bad time right now. Downstairs, the roamers not going to be overly effective. As Canadian attempting to come from the main hallway, Chatte's going to take out the other anchor. That's Young. Canadian from behind hasn't been spotted out. The glass is peeking, wins the fight. Eunice on fire. Necrox the last defender alive as Chatte takes NVK out of this picture. He's going to have to retake onto a post plant with 5 alive on Penta. It would be one of the greatest clutches in Rainbow Six history if he were to manage to win this. He does have the Boss G, which is an interesting weapon. Could swing in his favor if he's hitting shots right now. It's one, a single bullet to take Chatte down. Here's the other on the mirror window. That was Fabian. He lost his opportunity. A second for Necrox as he drops into the main lobby. Looking for this fight, sees the Claymore, can't move all the way in. It gets a third though, Gogo goes down. And can he get 2 more? No sir. BenQ inside, a projector locks that out. But you gotta feel Penta uncomfortable in that round.
Is that the first Boss G kill that we've seen in Pro League?
I wanna say it is, but I know it's not. It's a kind of a silly weapon, really. It's very efficient, very good, if you don't miss shots, which is, even for these players, a lot to be asking of a person.
It's listed as a shotgun, but happens to be the best DMR in the game.
Yeah, it's actually a sniper rifle. They just hit it in the skin of a shotgun to make it have more sense in CQB.
Now, both rounds successful for the attackers, so all sites are unlocked. Penta will go back to master bedroom. That will give EG another opportunity to attack, similar to as before. They'll be running a similar composition. In fact, the exact same. They'll need to work, Penta rather, will need to work to focus on BC downstairs in main lobby.
Activating camera.
Some camera work going up, and Fabian manages to grab it.
New camera being up and running.
It's likely that you're going to see Young try to go towards that big window. Fabian having some difficulty trying to hide that camera fully on the darkened strip trim of the actual wall itself to make the camera less visible when the attackers push in. There's no IQ nor Thatcher, so that camera will have to be taken down and spotted manually. Taken out by an EMP nor by an IQ. Just simply spotting it on her gadget.
You see Penta setting up to hold VIP. They didn't put a lot of presence in this room last time they went on this hold, and it didn't actually really matter too much. Evil Geniuses didn't, well, they prioritized main lobby and pushing into projector. They didn't really think too much about actually going into VIP and the other bomb site of master bedroom. Seems to be they've shifted their priorities though, as you can see Young going over to that balcony. Look to rappel up on the north side. Outside the front door, NVK laying down some fire. Going to receive some though. Will not deliver any in return.
I believe that's called the Lamborghini doorway.
The Lamborghini doorway not aiding NVK. A peek from the sledge of Canadian will see no result other than 1 HP on Chatte as he outmaneuvers and outperforms his opponent. From that kitchen, oh, what a shot from Young. Again, on the kitchen window. Chatte goes down, a little bit overkill from that DMR, which delivers about 70 damage per shot.
Evil Geniuses took a lot of damage through all of those fights as well. You can see NVK and Young will lick their wounds as the round progresses onwards. Still Fabian though, just off-site. He's downstairs inside of Sunrise Bar, and they will try to drone him out. Still good drone economy for EG. They've still got enough available. You can see 3 drones in action right now, though all in very close proximity to one another. Young will go on a drone, so that looks like still 4 drones remaining. BC waiting for a mark. Oh, what a shot! How he can capitalize, BC. Manages to let Goga get away with just a tiny amount of health remaining. That could have been the Ella dispatched just over halfway through the round. Fabian, though, undeterred inside of Sunrise Barn. They haven't been able to get in at all. Goga finally downed, and that means that an advantage in favor, though Goga gets picked up.
Evil Genius is still applying a lot of pressure to that bottom floor. Young looking to move into VIP and deny some rotations. BC narrowly missing a kill there as Penta aware of these angles. He will get hit by a Gersmot. It's a good job from Goga to throw that through the hole and delay this round further.
Bomb located by attackers.
Coming down to the last little bit here as Evil Geniuses looks to push upstairs.
And became positioned by a banded wall just next to that projector. They will not have any opportunity to be able to get in there. BK will at least alert the defenders to his presence. Fabian's made his way back up to Aquarium, goes for some shots through the wall in the luggage. It's BC there waiting to greet him, but the Valkyrie will be able to peel off, sitting just by the pool table. Goga, who was brought back to life, fixes Necrox, bonded down, leaving 3 for EG. Eunice, despite being disoriented, a remarkable kill onto NVK, leaving young NBC, and what a swift finish as Penta takes their very first lead of our final map.
And 2 in a row as well. What a hold. They saw clearly the attack strategy that Evil Geniuses was employing, the fact that they prioritized that bottom floor and they maneuvered around it. By simply putting a mirror window in that hallway, they afforded themselves so much ground covered. And Evil Geniuses, for some reason, didn't try to buck that mirror window from below.
EG has every site unlocked. They'll go to kitchen downstairs. So they realize that maybe master isn't where they ought to be. So our second site we will see today, possibly 2 of 4. They'll go down to the kitchen.
Oof. Penta being overtaken in the crowd very swiftly there. Now Evil Geniuses looking to hold, like you said, a different site, something that might catch Penta off guard. I like how they're doing a half-half on this wall. Half open on the top, half closed on the other side. This is going to mean that they can C4, they can use gas canisters, they can do a great many things over the top that portion of the wall, but they also won't lose the anchor position of that shelf in the northeast corner of A.
Good hold from EG looking so far.
Mirror window going to be going down facing towards B. And that's a very good mirror window that will establish a lot of control on delivery. If you don't have it, it can be very difficult to hold that single doorway. Doesn't look like anyone from EG's playing inside bathroom, which is kind of an oddity. Usually a position heavily utilized by the defense on this site. But seemingly they're prioritizing a little bit of an off-strat, or an off-strat in that it's off-site. And we do have 2 roamers over by the 2 bars.
Jonas is relatively safe at this position. The only reliable way to take him out is exactly where you see Goga right now, by the doorway, just sitting next to the bomb site. Claymore goes down, and that is pretty difficult for the defenders to shoot, if possible, even at all. That would mean that the glass could just sit there perched and not really have to potentially fear. Another opportunity is in the little foyer right next to Sunrise Bar, which, if a second Claymore goes down, will, for the most part, make the glass rest a bit easier. They could always go for a longer rotate through the actual door itself.
Canadian and NVK and Necrox all could be roaming on the south side of the building. They have avoided, up until now, the drone work. Fabian will spot out that roamer at the end of the main stairs hallway. Shate looking for the angle, narrowly missing the shot. Meanwhile, Pengu going to get downed inside of Hookah. Oof. Sees the yellow. Doesn't hit the one tap. That was actually Fabian, another Penta member who gets the kill. Shate will get a nade on a Necrox as well, and now Penta in commanding lead of this round. Can they get the third? They certainly can. Shate from Projector gets MVK as he attempts to rotate out. The roam clear from Penta was absolutely vicious.
Spearheaded by that Glaz's push inside of VIP. BCC4, as you can see, only really got the circular couch inside of VIP. He'll get taken down by Pengu, who is back from the dead. Young will have to hold off against a tide. He get hit with a Twitch drone, his position given away. The Twitch drone could have potentially taken out the Mira. A flawless round from Penta as Pengu eliminates Young. It's a strong start as EG went up by 1, but now 3 rounds in a row. Penta looking unbeatable for the moment.
Penta are absolutely cascading this win. Evil Geniuses are going to have to show us something amazing to stop it. But it seems like the momentum is completely against them. They've got, I mean, that last round, what do we see from EG? They tried to roam super heavy on those main lobby stairs. They had 3 players at that position. That is a huge gamble. And as soon as Penta droned that out and determined that was the case, it was a simple collapse. I mean, back against the wall, EG just couldn't win their fights.
Penta will go downstairs to the kitchen as well, so only 2 sites that have emerged thus far. Penta could potentially push this to match point and end Coastline very quickly in the next 2 rounds, depending on their play here. For Evil Geniuses, they were aware that there would be no master site whatsoever. I like what they brought. It's the exact same 5 operators that they brought, both times attacking master from above. Might fit to their play style here.
Evil Geniuses has been prioritizing clearing out that bottom floor so they can shoot people from below. And now they're going to have to do the opposite, as we see a defense of, well, the bottom floor. Or they could just come in horizontally, but that's a huge gamble, especially on this site, which lends itself so very well to the vertical control, which is why you're seeing Shate put that mirror window upstairs in projector facing towards Penthouse. It establishes that Penta will hold that firm, and Evil Geniuses is going to have to struggle to deny Penta that control.
For a second there, that Young was going to see the feet of PENGU inside of inside of the bathroom. You see going smartly up to the top. There was a defender position, potentially looking for a run out just by the window inside a bathroom and get the repel of any members of Evil Geniuses. Losing one this early on would almost certainly give a ton of confidence to Penta to clear out and finish that round strong.
Penta has a roamer inside of security by the main lobby. That's Fabian, who could potentially pounce on any EG attacker who pushes into the lobby itself. Young poised to do so, as he's simply cutting off rotation right now, taking it nice and slow. Doesn't need to rush himself. There are still 2 minutes and plenty of time for Evil Geniuses.
Very slow going, as you would say. Still controlling from above, waiting to drop.
This might be a bit of a bait and switch here from Penta, as the roamer at the top of main lobby stairs has been droned out. Fabian hasn't, and as soon as Young pushes in, get that kill, he might see a fight from below. No, it's not going to happen. Very wise from Young.
They are taking way too long to get inside of second floor right now. Shate is proving to be a very worthy adversary. A couple of his bullets rattle in, but NBK starts the round off by taking Gogoden. It's taken over 90 seconds, but Canadian now pounces on Shate, and there's 3 left for Penta. They have control upstairs inside of VIP, and they look like there's still 1 left for them to dispatch. Both Pega and Jonas downstairs, Fabian now downstairs as well, so they have complete control of that second floor.
Still an X factor in play from Penta. That's Fabian, which you pointed out. Could come from behind and win this round for his team, but it's going to be a very daunting task as EG has such a decisive man advantage. PENGU now holding inside a bathroom, just waiting it out. Still plenty of time here. It's going to force the defense to be a little bit more scared, I'm sure, as Young opens up this delivery doorway, looking for the fight.
Just final 30 seconds. Another Gu goes down. Young takes out Jonas, and on stairs, Fabian, though, just off site, takes out Canadian as he's able to get back in. A smoke goes down, and you can see Young falls too. All of EG is very low. So if PENGU and Fabian can hold on, this will go the way of the Europeans.
15 seconds left.
You hear the timer itself. PENGU still under pressure, will be shot at from 2 angles in just a moment. PENGU won a shot on the NBK. He gets 2. Now an advantage for EG. Goes away. Necrox just needs to find Fabian, who will hold on. Necrox, no diffuser. Penta match point. What a round from them.
That's 4 in a row for Penta, and they are poised, but moments away, in fact, from being the new world champions.
Evil Geniuses has consistently been in a position where they have looked like they are going to fall behind and made us wait.
If ever there was a moment to cheer for your team, this is it. EG just looking to hold on as they go into the defense of the Master.
This is the PENGU that we have seen. 8 kills so far.
What a fantastic job from PENGU, trying to rally his team, bring them back behind his banner.
They'll go upstairs to Master. where EG has not won on defense at all. They will have to buck that trend, or we will have brand new world champions. Send the crowd home here in Montreal unhappy. Facing match.
10 seconds to go.
Final setup going down. Lots of barbed wire. Trying to protect
5
that
seconds.
wall inside a master bedroom from VIP as Canadian will bandit trip.
Attackers recover the
Last time around,
Attackers are
if I
moving
remember
out to
correctly,
locate a bomb.
there were no defenders with any utility being able to take care of that wall. They will not make that mistake again. Pengu looks like he was
Inches
trying
away.
a couple shots and looked like he was, yes, indeed, inches away.
Propelling onto the main B window, though. Just going to open that up. If nothing else, make evil geniuses think about the angles they can and cannot play. Shate droning into VIP. It's shaping up to be a very typical VIP to B take, as they do have a thermite. Well, this last time, it was a bit of a struggle here for Penta, but overall, they've been very successful.
Not a lot of pressure inside of VIP as the glass goes in and now can essentially cut off a push inside of that room from any of the roamers or players off of sight. He'll wait for the rest of his team in order to get up. Jonas has looked like a very good shot so far this game. Along with Pengu, it's been him getting those impact frags when needed. A grenade gets hurled down inside of bomb site A, takes a portion of Young's health, more than half of it. As the smoke will have to retreat, or else Spear getting picked away.
Slow fade shot there from Shate. He's not trying to risk too much. He's used both of his grenades and has done a good portion of damage, but now Penta needs to clear the batteries off of the wall so they can thermite their way in. That's going to fall onto, looks like, Fabian to either use his Twitch drone or just go downstairs and shoot open the batteries from below. Finally, they are gone, and from behind, NVK takes down Eunice. A great impact there to establish a flank. Goga will respond though. NVK bites the dust. Now a 4-on-4. Shate still inside of that VIP. The wall has, I believe, been opened. And Fabian trying to clear out this final roamer in the pool table. That's Necrox just waiting for his opportunity. The diffuser is down on the roof? Did I see that correctly? The diffuser is down on the roof, which means Penta with only 50 seconds left is going to have to put Pengu, if no one else, to go and pick that up. Could be Goga as well. Shate's gonna get a kill onto Canadian.
Final 45 though, Necrox trades off Fabian, still 3v3. Goga will go up to fetch that diffuser. Takes only about 10 to 15 seconds as he's now gonna go back down. Shate hitting that shock wire on the wall inside of VIP. They're waiting for Necrox to potentially come back to sight, sitting just above the cool vibe stairs. Goga rappelling in onto the balcony, just outside of Hall of Fame. The flash rattles off in the background, and they're going to have to hurry. They are only seconds away from potentially being crowned winners, but a big C4 from Goga will blow this wide open. Shate goes up on top of the bed, breathes in some toxic gas, and will now go for a plant himself. How effectively is Pengu going to be able to cover that fire? He gets BC. Can Pengu keep going? He's looked so good. Pengu, but Necrox takes him down. What a clutch! And EG stays alive! They'll get the diffuser. Penta not taking this just yet.
Necrox specifically with a deep roam in pool table, not popping until the perfect opportunity. Very well done for him there to come from behind, absolutely decimate that attack. Penta played it about as well as they possibly could have. EG just played it better.
Just in case you didn't want a game that was as exciting as this, EG staving off elimination for at least one round. That's their first successful defense. They do so upstairs on Master. They'll now have to go to another site. Earlier on, we'd seen them go down to Kitchen after their first failure of a defense. Could we see a change there? Could they choose hookah and billiards? Could we see them go down to Sunrise or Blue Bar? Right now, carrying his team is Necrox. He has had an incredible day so far, and he has been the story, and spotlight has shone on him very brightly for Evil Geniuses. On the other side, a good team effort, but Pengu seems to have come back down to where we, rose up to what we expected. He's not come back down to earth just yet. Mixed my metaphors, that's okay.
It happens. Penta defending that Master Projector. Again, the very common bomb site. Evil Geniuses don't have a thermite once more, which means they cannot come from VIP. This is, again, the final time they've done this. I mean, they've done it so many times. They always attack from the main lobby. They always come to clear from below, and they try to defang Projector before making that site push. It's a good strategy, but it's also kind of a risk, as now Penta are so used to this.
They've not been able to take Fabian out early on. They need to be more proficient in their entry. This speaks specifically to Canadian and NVK if they're going to do the necessary drone work to try to find those who play off of site. The Valkyrie of Fabian cannot spend a minute and a half downstairs in order to put that pressure on BC. You wondered before why BC wasn't able to do his job effectively. It's because of the constant looming threat of somebody playing off site. You have to tie up that loose end. And look at the drone work from BC. He sees two, one in courtyard, one sitting just inside of main entrance.
Meant to have full control here. BC looking for the one tap, he gets it! Eunice goes down, and BC absolutely on fire right now. He's similar to Necrox for EG, has been stepping up for his team. We're filling the shoes of NVK and Canadian, who did get a 4K earlier today, so.
BC's drone just goes right on by, and Shate doesn't shoot it. They have no idea he's in there, but a couple shots go in. You can hear Young's DMR in the background laying down some fire as Shate finally gets that drone. It's Canadian now, as Shate will once again get droned out, this time from Necrox. So two drones that have been dispatched to find this Jaeger. Flashes go in, not expecting Shate to have moved. NVK will need to win this fight, or his team will find themselves, and he does! A good shot through security as Shate falls off the board. Three members of Penta left. Mira from below, as that's BC establishing his dominance down in the main lobby, exactly where we know him to be and be so comfortable. Taking out Pengu in a previous round, but the Mira is going to be a bit more careful of all of those openings at his feet. NVK back on the drone. We'll try to figure out where the last three defenders are. Necrox on the balcony, waiting inside of sight. They have a numbers advantage, and they're not too poorly on time. Fabian still has not been found out. Instead of being on the first floor, he's up in billiards. He could potentially get a wonderful flank off. Goga goes for a pre-fire. Young loses shield. Canadian a volley. Almost a flawless round. It's all Fabian. He's inside of theater, but he's gonna have a lot of bodies to fight through. He sees BC, a flawless round. EG 2 in a row. They'll go back to defense. Could we have overtime?
Certainly imagine we could, as now Evil Geniuses is just gonna have to hold and wait to win this. You can see on their faces, they are very patient, very ready to win this and put it into OT. Going on to kitchen and serves entrance defense now for Evil Geniuses.
Take a look at what we see. You'll see it in just a moment, as it's not currently on your screen. But Penta will run a Monte. And that has been a defense that has not worked, or that has been a strategy that has not been able to be countered from EG.
Now the kitchen defense has been unsuccessful, I believe, for both teams so far in this match. So, except for, no, actually, I stand corrected. Penta did manage to win one there earlier, but Evil Geniuses haven't. So they're gonna have to do something that hasn't happened thus far. Again, using that very deep roam over on the west side of the building, the double bar Mira setup. And they're going to have the same exact thing on that south wall into A. Good amount of control there for Evil Geniuses. Not a lot of priority being placed on the B-bomb site. The last time we saw EG go here, they did not really defend the bathroom very much at all.
This is a perfect site to roll a Montaigne out on as well, as they can just simply go in through an open doorway. They don't have to really worry about a window. Canadian, a spawn peek, really? The glass goes down! That'll open things up, and EG taking gambles that pay off. You gotta think that'll hurt their push.
Only one set of smokes now, and no one can look through them anymore after Eunice goes down. That spawn peek right there is about as common as it gets. Canadian clearly relying on that fact, and Eunice just not checking his corners. Very negligent.
Not expecting a spawn peek in this point in time.
That specific angle, that specific spawn peek is so common you just don't think you'd see it at this level. This is as high as it gets when it comes to Rainbow Six Siege competition. And yet, basic, simple spawn peek. Gonna give the man advantage to EG early on. Hookah control in favor of Penta, though, as they move their way towards Billiards as well.
Look like they were going to be employing that Montaigne for to be able to clear out the roamers. Instead, they're just going to hit Sunrise Bar. It's going to make them have to expend some of those smoke canisters or even the C4s themselves to stop the push. No, Penta has not really been baited. In fact, both BenQ and Fabian have been very proficient at dropping the shield and getting kills when need be on Montaigne as an operator.
So, clearing into the double bar, they have established there are no roamers here anymore. That's a mirror window that will not aid the defense at all. They still have one, though, in the site. I believe it's facing the wrong way. So, if Penta maneuvers this correctly, it could aid them greatly. No, in fact, it's facing towards the main lobby. So, EG prioritizing that southeast control, which is the opposite of what Penta's going for.
First smoke will go down to stop BenQ's assault. He'll go to drone as Shate just waited. Fabian, though, very far and all off on his own. You've got the Montaigne holding the diffuser. That would suggest to me that unless they juggle, it'll be him going in backwards. The shield up on his back and shoulders trying to get the plant. Fabian holding down any rotation through courtyard, but BC takes out Goga, and EG finds himself quite comfortable. Fabian dives in, but they stop him. But a trade, there's only one left. Shate, can we see overtime? He starts his comeback with 1 kill. He does not hold the diffuser. There's only 30 seconds. 6th of the round, not a lot of time. You see a mark, that will be a drone. Still up for Penta, trying to gather that information. 10 seconds has fallen off of the clock. He moves towards the main door. There is barbed wire in there that will let EG know. But you can see there's only one inside. It's the Mira of BC. Can he return fire? A crossfire in overtime? Why not?
Evil Geniuses, against all odds, down 4-1, have brought it back with 3 rounds in a row to overtime on the final map of this best of 5. You can see from their faces again, they are calm and focused.
We'll go through prep phase underway as Penta starts on defense. Both teams showing that they can show up on either side, attack or defense. The crowd quiets very quickly as we start. Could be 2 rounds away from crowning our champion. They'll opt to go upstairs inside of Master, a site that Penta has looked quite comfortable on.
We'll see if they can make it work for them another time. We have no Mira on Penta's side of things, which means that Projector will not be very useful, though that makes a lot of sense because the way EG has been playing to counter those Miras is very efficient. They've had a good go of it so far. Which means EG, if they fall into the same trap as executing the strategy they've done so many times on this site, they will likely see a counter, a direct left hook from Penta Sports. That's the risk they have to take, though, as they still do not have a Thermite attacking onto Penthouse and Projector.
Pretty incredible to think that in what is match points sending us to overtime, you gamble on a spawn peek onto a glass and you win.
Canadian wins those.
That he does. They'll attack the delivery doorway first and foremost. They'll open it up. Canadian positioned on the other side of the map from NVK, and a lot of drone work. You can see most of Evil Geniuses right now on their drone gathering intel. The whole team, rather, has looked better over the last couple rounds, and it's been paying off. NVK inside of Sunrise Bar will grab the footprints and just look to see.
Expected that one.
He knew exactly where it was. Just looked right up and took it down. And Fabian playing as that Valkyrie with his cams has been invaluable to his team so far this match. He's been able to consistently help his team by placing the attackers in their locations through those cams. Not to mention that he's been very elusive. He's rotated and only been killed very late in the round almost every time on defense.
Seeing Canadian back on Ash does, I think, instill a lot of confidence in his team. He is a fantastic Ash player. See if he's able to make something work for him this round. The Jackal still pinging off at the player in Billiards, and they're going to spot Ella inside of VIP. From below, BC still doing an amazing amount of work in this position, despite the fact that Penta has got to be aware of this play right now. They have dealt with it now 3 or 4 times. NVK coming up those main lobby stairs. We'll see the shoulder of the Bandit. That's the back, in fact, and he will lay down some fire. Only putting Eunice on half HP, though, not quite a kill. Also expecting a push from luggage hallway. Very careful for NVK here. Goga, a lot of potential for a run out right now. We do have Necrox holding the angle, as they still know that Goga is in this spot. Goes for a quick peek.
They just wait. You can see an ADS just by that window to catch any projectile. If Necrox vaults in, will be certainly to his doom. Canadian, though, comes out of nowhere. That's the captain. They work together. Great communication. Goga dislodged, but Pengu has the Vigil just nearby. Will eliminate BC. NVK and Canadian a rally. 2 away, but Pengu comes in. He takes Necrox down before retreating himself. There's the Blackbeard on the window, and now Fabian on the flank. 2 each. Canadian has a tiny portion of health. He holds that diffuser. Pengu down. Fabian all alone in theater. He sticks the diffuser. Waits for the audio cue. Young will need to cover. There is a C4 from Fabian. He primes it. Canadian falls off. He goes down. Young will need to get in. He has only 10 seconds, and he enters. They will be in a standoff. Can he get the Valkyrie? 2 seconds. Young pushes up, running out of time. Neither get it. Penta, hold on. Oh my! Match point, Penta.
That round was well in hand of Evil Geniuses there. But they let it go. Poor coverage of his teammates, Young, from the balcony there. Let that first kill go, the initial attempted plant. Couldn't possibly get the C4 midair. That's too much to put on one person. And Evil Geniuses throughout the series has struggled very much with those retakes. Penta focusing on that as their main strategy, as it's working for them time and time again, no matter what the map.
Immediately, EG will go down to Kitchen. They will opt for that instead of Master. Maybe trying to shake up Penta's operator choices, knowing that this is a site that they have fared well on. Master has been the shakier of 2 so far for Evil Geniuses. They're going to be running a Rook. Are we going to see Canadian go for that spawn peek again? We'll find out soon enough.
I seriously doubt it, but it would be quite interesting, that's for sure.
They had the game on the line, and they gambled last time. It paid off, but that's something that they will be looking for. Penta alerted to this position. They're going to just hide their drones and simply wait. No reason to expend them this early on. You know where you're going to push, find the operators out, and use it later when they're far more valuable mid-round.
Attackers recovered the bomb.
Kitchen defense is going to be a difficult one for Evil Geniuses. They made it work last time, but very narrowly.
Indeed, a spawn peek coming up over by Ruins. Nobody over by Canadian.
He really wants this win, so much so that he's going to take every risk he possibly can. Narrowly avoiding death there. Chate on the windows, not going to hit his shots.
The hope of North America, keeping the world title in Montreal. Evil Geniuses. They were known as Continuum when they won last time around. A name change and some roster changes.
Very few. Control over Aqua here in favor of Penta. Now this is where Necrox clutched out the last time the defense was in Penthouse. So Penta trying to deny that position as much as possible.
Stacking up 2 defenders inside of Sunrise Bar. If there was a push through bathroom or even through one of the walls in Kitchen, they would have to find themselves funneling in through one doorway. It could be a daunting prospect for them and end up resulting in an easy hold for Penta.
If Penta moves down those blue stairs, they will also establish a denial of the rotation for these 2 roamers. They'll only be able to use that rotation hole into the other bar, but it's very dangerous as it's not directed at the site. It's going to expend a lot of time for Penta.
A lot of caution as we eclipse the 92nd into the round. 1 drone for Chate will help him as he tries to clear out. He's now got blue stairs. As you said, they have completely cut off control. Jonas does some fire from above.
Slow going here for Penta. 1 round, a single minute possibly, away from winning this out. Evil Geniuses again prioritizing that main lobby. It's not working out for them so far. Canadian goes down. Nice angle there from Goga, expecting that hold.
The IGL and Captain off of the board. Advantage Penta with 1 minute to go. They've got control from above. They'll now drop. Still inside of Sunrise, you saw that there were 2 members of defense. Now they've got 2 playing over by security. Sunrise has been completely forfeited. You've lost blue bar as well. They have very smartly circled back. Fabian is on flank watch from above. You can expend one down, but wow, NBK eliminates Jonas, and that smoke, you cannot see through it. Amidst the smoke, you can see the plant going down. Fabian gets Necrox, who goes on the flank. Shate uncontested. Diffuser goes down. Now EG will need to retake the site. But Young trading off Goga. Fabian takes NBK down. BC, it's 2-2. It's Pengu and Fabian left. 2 of the best known players on that team. Their captain sufficient. Fragger Fabian down. It's Pengu. The Ash just waiting, or rather the Hibana just waiting. They'll look to push together. The Diffuser in a position where they'll have to see when the Hibana goes through. One will cover the doorway as they start to defuse. Pengu goes for one on the Young. Can he go the second? They're often known as the best team in the world, never having that distinction until today. Penta are your world champions. The second invitational.
Fantastic take there from Penta. And they have to feel elated. The most wins now of any team, including a whole world championship. And Evil Geniuses just let it slip by an inch.
The amount of defeat to claw back 4-1, tie it up into overtime. Heartbreak.